Hey gang, Will here from the Ashland Fly Shop. Happy holidays. We're going to be doing a fishing report for you for around the middle of the month going into the holiday, and just talk a little bit about what to expect if you're visiting the area and you want to do some fishing, or you're here and you got some time off and you want to fish a bit, or if you're just checking in with us in general. So we'll talk about the Rogue River and just kick it off with our backyard here. So we'll hop right in and talk about the Rogue here. The Rogue's really at the kind of the end of the steelhead run. There's a few nice fish around. In the last few weeks, we've actually seen some pretty nice fish be caught. Some of those late run, larger summer fish. But really, it's you can really assume it's really at the end of the run here, around mid-December. We've had some early rains that brought the tributaries up, and a lot of the summer steelhead that were in the system in that kind of peak time and mid to late October, November, they've really gone up into the tributaries and aren't really in the main river now. Now we're in kind of a high pressure system, really cool nights, cool mornings, and bright sunny days, and so the tributaries have really come down, and so the fish that are in the river, they might feel a little stuck there. So that's an opportunity to get after them a bit in the upper stretch, but I don't think there's quite many around. I don't think there's quite a lot of fish around. Is it worth going? I'd probably give it a try. In the upper stretch, like from the hatchery down through Shady Cove, there might be a few nice bright fish in there, late run fish that are just coming in and worth catching. But you might run into some darker fish too, and so you could run into that a bit in the upper river. So if you've got the chance and you've got the time, it's might worth going out, but not high on my list. Now, the lower Rogue is a different story, and the lower river is one I would really consider. That's definitely a trek. If you've only got a day or even just a partial day, that's a bit of a trek to get down there. But this type of weather, high pressure, lower water, it can really be good for the lower river down around Gold Beach and upstream of there going into the canyon. Those fish will continue to come in on the tides, the first winter fish, and can be a nice spot to run into an early winter fish down there. So that would be really a top pick of mine as a place to go. I think some of the other streams like the Smith and Chetco, they don't do as well with this type of weather, but the Rogue would really be a place to look for an early winter fish down there. Trout fishing on the Holy Water, I think, would really be a pretty good bet. I think it's worth giving it a try. The high pressure, we like to see a little overcast up there. It kind of gets the bugs going a little bit better, but it could be really good streamer fishing up there. So that would be a place that I would really consider going up in the upper stretch. The flows are down, like I said, around 1,000 CFS. So that Holy Water stretch from the dam, down to the hatchery, that trout area there, I think that'd be a really good bet. I would probably focus on streamers, your little trout spays and little single handers with sink tips and buggers and streamers and stuff, I think would be a good bet. Maybe some nymphing and perhaps some dries. You might see some dry activity up there, but high pressure doesn't really help that equation too much. But the Holy Water, I think, is really worth a try. The Klamath River in Northern California, just over the hill here, the stretch around I-5, I do think would really be a good bet and continue to be a good bet. That river performs a little bit better with the high pressure, with the bright sun. It's always kind of off color down there a bit, so I think that helps it. We do see fish kind of coming in throughout this time, late summer fish and even some early winter fish will nose up into that upper stretch there, so that's worth a look. That's worth a look up there, and would be one of my top picks for a place to go at this time of year and kind of poke around, just that upper stretch from I-5 up to the dam, and then even down below there for several miles. But going way down to the Middle River stuff, I've heard a couple of accounts of some nice fish around Happy Camp. It's a long way to go for a chance at fish down there. So I like that kind of upper stretch at this time of year. Plus it's closest to Ashland, so if you're in the Medford-Ashland area, that's a good bet. And lastly, a favorite place of mine to fish in the winter is the Upper Sacramento in Northern California. It's a bit far to go, but if you've got the day and it's nice weather, it's nice and bright out, it can be a really beautiful place to go kind of walk around and look for a nice winter fish. We don't find the fish in the same spots we do in the summer, like in the riffles and run and shallower spots like that. We find them more in the buckets, and kind of bigger pools and tanks and runs and stuff. So you might get out of your comfort zone there, and the spots that you typically fish and look for fish in other spots. Deeper nymphing tends to work pretty well. But that's a real favorite place of mine to go walk around the summer. If you know that canyon can collect a lot of heat, so it can get nice and warm even in December when it's cool out. So that's a favorite place of mine, and happy to give you tips on that if you're looking to go down there and spend a few hours. So that's kind of the roundup, you know, as our fishing opportunities sort of wane a little bit this time of year. But, you know, there's several good spots right around us that I really enjoy fishing, and we really like to fish here throughout this midwinter stretch. So if we can help you with that, if you need any tips or any ideas of where to go, please give us a call. We'll be happy to help. Thank you.